What's happening, all you hitchhikers? Mikey here. Super stoked about our guest in the first episode of The Strange Road. Joining us is my buddy Roa, owner of the Fifth Element Tattoo Gallery here on the east side in Columbus. He's a multifaceted artist and all-around great dude. We've known each other for quite some time and have had some pretty incredibly deep experiences together, so I was excited to sit down and talk with him. My conversation with Roa starts at his roots and continues through his journey in life to where he is now. Recently, we've been talking quite a bit about the shelter-in-place situation and how it's affected us. Early on, I was like most people, a little freaked out. Gigs were getting canceled, opportunities lost or put on hold, my kids' school in flux. First, I was confused, then a little fearful, then a little angry. Finally, the last phase, mourning our former way of life and embracing a new reality. When Roa shared his perspective on the situation, I got really excited for the possibilities moving forward. He had such a unique outlook, which helped me move through the process of understanding. We'll get into that and much more on this very first episode of The Strange Road. All right, Roa, what's happening, bro?
Doing good, bro. How are you?
Awesome. Yeah. Hey, everybody, we have Roa from Fifth Element Tattoo Gallery here today, and just hanging out. And Carlos, I think it'd be pretty cool. Kind of just give us a little bit of background. If you want to start with your shop,
Yep.
Where you're located,
Cool.
talk about what inspired you to create that space, and give us a little bit of background on that.
Gotcha. Of course, my name is Roa. I have a little shop on the south end of Parsons of Columbus. It's called Fifth Element Tattoo Gallery. Opened it up about a year. I say, yeah, it's been about a year and a half, maybe, if that. So yeah, it's a tiny little tattoo shop that I put together, manifested it, so I'm able to do my thing when it comes to tattooing and art. So I have a couple artists in there. Jay Cross is one of them. The other one is Jimmy Redbeard. And then we have a apprentice. His name is Kian. So other than that, we have like a small crew, just starting up. So yeah, so there's that. Me personally, I've been an artist. I started as an artist first before as a tattoo artist. So doing art since for a long time. Started painting about 2000. I forget. I'd say like 2006. I want to say 2006. That's when I started getting into art. But other than that, going back a little bit and then to put it in a nutshell. Born in South America, Bogota, Colombia. Lived out there. Adolescence, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Was in an orphanage. Was put in the orphanage when I was about 5. Stayed in the orphanage for 1 year, and then was adopted and came over here right away, and been here since. That kind of thing. So, yeah.
How old were you?
I was 6 when I came.
Cool. So you remember South America?
Yeah. I remember. I got little, bits and pieces of it that I can kind of recall and stuff like that. So so I'm very blessed. I'm grateful for where I'm at. For sure.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
What a journey to get to Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how did you feel growing up in Ohio? Did you enjoy it? Did you,
I have mixed emotions about it.
Yeah.
Because it was a weird transitional. I still remember it because I was born in the slums, put in an orphanage, and then brought over to Disney World. That's the first American thing I saw was Disneyland, So it's just like that to Columbus, and then stayed here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you showed this.
You thought it was that's what everything was going to be.
Yeah, I didn't know. But at the same time, I just grew up in it, so didn't have winter or anything like that. I didn't know anything about that stuff. But after a while, it just honestly, I really didn't like Columbus. I think it was just a personal thing with not just how the society or whatever you want to call it, and I think I'll get that anywhere if I was put anywhere. But I think as I got to be a little bit older and stuff like that, grown with it, I fall in love more with the land than the actual like Columbus, the city. So I like Ohio as a land. So that's how I see it. But before that, I just wanted to get the fuck out of here, that kind of thing.
So the older you got, you kind of learned about a little bit more about the land.
Yeah, appreciate it a little
some
bit
of
more.
the history and
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not knowing that so much of it was originated here, and this is the heart, the source of it. And so that kind of like opened me up a little bit more to accepting it, and just a lot of lost culture, a lot of civilization, that kind of stuff. So it's just kind of like, oh damn, like I guess this would be somewhat the best place to be in a sense.
Yeah.
So
And you and I kind of have a common interest, the Serpent Mound. You said you visited that site
right.
when you were Serpent Mound in Adams County, Ohio. You
Yeah.
said that you'd visit that on a field trip when you were a kid?
No.
Or
No. I remember seeing it all the time. Yeah, it came to that place is just something special now. But in the beginning, I remember always seeing it in the like in the history books.
Okay.
It's always in the prelude or whatever of the history books.
Mhm,
And it's always
mhm.
had this little Serpent Mound, and it's
Yeah.
always here in Ohio, blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, just seeing that image, and then to have a relationship with that image from seeing it from so long ago. That's always been kind of haunting. Kind of
Mhm.
thing, a haunting image
Yeah.
that you eventually figured, kind of, it became part of your life in a sense.
Yeah.
So so that's interesting.
We've been kind of going back there.
Right.
You on your own,
Right.
together with me and other people and
Right.
groups of people, and the event that was going to be there in March. We were going to head out there with some of the crew, and
It's gonna be fun.
yeah, and everything got shut down. That was kind of one of
Yeah.
the first kind of reality checks for us.
Right.
We had some shoots and some interviews and some things
Yeah.
kind of happening, and you were going to come roll with us and hang, and we were looking at getting a cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And then on St.
Mhm.
Patrick's Day, it was official that it had shut down. I think it was the venue that actually canceled it. I think
Mhm.
Terry was trying to hold strong. Shout out to Terry Rivera. But yeah, so that was the Arnold Classic shut down really quick. That was like one of the first in the country to just say,
right.
but no, we're not playing that game. Shut it down.
And that started getting to be like, oh shit, they're serious about this.
Yeah.
What I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're really serious. Like
And then the smaller events all
Right.
kind of fell in line like a week after DeWine announced the shelter in place. And
Right.
all those kind of things. So
Yeah, I think the one that got me was kids in that school and shit. I was like, what? Like shutting
Yeah.
down things
Oh,
that
yeah.
never shut down.
Right,
Like
right.
things that never would shut down.
well, they shut it
It's
down
like,
to
oh, shit.
spring break, and then that was
Right.
3 weeks, and then now it's the May 1st. So that's kind of the mark right now. So who knows if they'll just completely cancel school, and I feel the worst for like seniors.
Yeah, my
aren't gonna
daughter's
get
a
to-
senior.
Oh,
Yeah, but she's not
Uh-huh.
tripping on it.
No?
Honestly, she's kind of like
She's cool.
She's one of those. She's so funny. She's like, I just want my money back because that's what I pay for my cap and gown. That's all she cares about.
Right.
She's like, I just want my money
it's
back.
not cheap,
Yeah, exactly. It was like,
Yeah.
$150 or something.
right?
Like that,
you wear it one time.
Right.
Yeah.
So she wants her money back. But at the same time, like, yeah, it's fucking goofy, man. It's fucking weird, and I don't think we're gonna. I don't think the kids this year. I think school's over. Honestly, I think it's done.
Boy,
Because, I mean, shit, it's almost over. Honestly,
yeah.
If you think
I mean,
about
there
it.
would be. It's I think May 28th is the last day of
Yeah.
school. So if they went back, it'd be a little over 3 weeks. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know if kids can handle the homeschool aspect. I mean, homeschool, when you get homeschooled, there's different programs, and you can go and meet up with other families that are homeschooling as well.
Right.
But right now, everyone's so isolated that you can't get together a bunch of kids and make it exciting and fun for them. So, our oldest is kindergarten, was going to be finishing kindergarten, and she just misses her friends,
Right.
It's
right. That's how most of the kids are.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the kids like it, but then at the same time, it's a weird, like you said, putting them in homeschool.
Yeah.
You know, some of them just can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shanti's
It's
struggling. She
right?
can't.
And you giving these kids a computer and like to tell them to sit in front of this.
Yeah.
It's
tough.
live, chat with your teacher kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for them to do that.
And the parents have to
right.
really sit there on a whiteboard and go over the reading and the spelling and the math. And thank God it's not like, high school math right now that we're having to sit.
Right.
My wife's trying to, she's doing an awesome job learning how to teach our daughter. So that's been a journey in itself.
That's
and so it I was talking to you on the phone, and he's like, it's cool. You're learning how to teach your kids. And I thought that was 3 weeks ago, the first week of kind of the homeschooling, and where everything's kind of sitting in, and you're just, oh my gosh, all these new things are hitting you, and you're trying the best you can, and it's stressful, and you're trying to get the curriculum, and hey, there's this online program that you have to do, and then there's we're going to send home your workbook, and different things that I've had to kind of run out there and pick up, and so but overall, one of the cool things is everyone's home, at least in our house. Production gigs and things that we had been planning on, we focus a lot on live events and concerts, festivals, and do a lot of and even all the commercial shoots, and sort of all the way down the line, small live streams are kind of kicking off a little bit, and but they're all really small skeleton crews, so everything kind of just really stopped for us also. And so we've been home, and we've got to spend time together that, I'm not taking for granted at all right now.
Right. With all the creatives have been just fired, So that's the thing. So we all are adapting, and
everyone kind of does their own thing, and maybe runs their own little boutique or shop like yours. And it's a lot of artists are independents, like a lot of us are freelancers, so and even the guys that have a job all kind of gig and do side things on the side, and so it's tough. People getting laid off left and right, and some of the bigger companies in town, so it's just but they're doing their best right now to get some of the employees back.
It's crazy. It's weird, and it's exciting. It's, all in the same time. Because it needs to happen. I don't know what is all happening. I have theories or whatever you want to call them, but it all needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? And like before, like I mentioned to you, it's like it's nothing. People that are thinking that it's gonna like go back to normal. It's just not. Like things are already changed. You can't change it without changing it.
Right.
So.
Right. It's like a pre-COVID-19 world and a post-COVID-19 world.
Yeah. Living through history like hardcore.
Yeah. It's a
hardcore.
Really interesting time to be alive.
Oh yeah.
It's strange. Just everything shuts down. Everything shut down. So no one's ever lived through something like this. So it's a unique, super unique time also. And, people that can shift and kind of move during this time. And it's, we've gotten pretty comfortable. Never had to live through something like 9/11 was one thing. And that was, really, people got closer. People came together. you felt like, we were kind of all in it together. And there was a lot of that kind of early on as, you saw some pretty cool connections all over the country.
Right.
And this is
Yeah.
kind of, it's,
I feel like you were saying before, but there's always an scapegoat,
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I feel like this one is, of course, everybody's kind of with the Chinese or whatever, but now it got to a point where there really isn't a scapegoat,
right.
for the first time,
Right.
I think,
Yep.
I feel like that's interesting,
Right.
because we can't point the finger.
The whole world has it.
Yeah, you can't point the finger.
Yeah. The virus
So,
is spreading all over.
right.
I mean, it's a planetary thing right now. So it's,
Wow. It's wild.
but I think a lot of good is coming from it also. People are kind of seeing just the fragile nature of our system. It was pretty glaring when everything shut down, and a week later it's just, it's a trickle effect. And
Yeah.
within a week, boom, everyone loses their jobs, the unemployment rate skyrockets, and it's just that quickly of a halt is pretty interesting. And it really is just pointing to, again, I think everybody just kind of got comfortable with, things moving along, and then bam. So it's jarring.
Yeah, and that's what you just said. It's just everybody got comfortable.
Yeah.
Everybody was just too comfortable,
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, you should never get comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't think, I can never stay comfortable. You always gotta, that means there's something not, right. You gotta switch it up a little bit. But yeah, it's wild. It's crazy. I think that it's, like I keep saying, it's exciting. I'm looking at it. Everybody sees it in a different way. I think everybody kind of, it depends how you want to take it. But I think the most importantly, there's from all this stuff to look at it, but to really just really manifest the best option or the outcome of it.
Yeah.
So not trying to like, oh, this, and that, and this is going on, and because, just really just see it as a good thing, see it as a positive thing, the best as you can possibly do, and not look at the circumstances like, I don't have a job, and I don't have this, and I'm so bored, that kind of shit, or what am I going to do with it myself? Like, no, this is the time to figure that all out. Like what you're doing right now, you're taking your time that you have and experimenting and learning something new and trying something new, and what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who knows what the outcome is,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, this podcast, it's something we're really wanting to do for a long time, and just, hustling, freelancing, and just always on the go, being dad, trying to run a business. And there's just these kind of things that are, you really have to build in your free time on the side with responsibilities, and
Right.
and this really kind of, allowed us to kind of really lock in and focus, and, start off with, hey, podcast,
Right.
let's really focus on that and see what happens.
That's the thing, is like you're focusing, because before the corona, everybody's distracted by all this. I mean, this is the first time, myself, I haven't thought about like bills and money, and that's my distraction. Like, oh shit, I got to get this done, this taken care of, because
I gotta
I need to survive, or work with it so I can eat, pretty much, So now it's like the first time, it's just like, shit, you're not thinking about that. So that's all that junk that you can just literally like take out.
Yep.
And now what are you going to replace it with? That kind of thing. So it's just like, I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the biggest, hardest thing on most people, is finances and money. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And you don't have enough time to do what you want to do. So now everybody can just go back and kind of reflect and step back and see what their life. That's why everybody's on different stages, but reflect and see what their life was before it, and see where they're going, and see how they're handling things, and same time preparing or working with the cards that you have, and to utilize things how circumstances pop up, so if things do get bad, this is what I'm going to think, what I'm going to do. If this happens, if they turn on everything back on, this is what I'm going to do, so it's just thinking about all your options, and
Right. Yeah.
so preparing yourself mentally,
Right.
but not focusing on the negative aspect and thinking that's what's going to happen. Just saying like, yeah, it's there, but I'm not going to activate that because right now I'm thinking that, for me, I hope that, or I have faith, or whatever you want to call it, that I hope the whole system's just crumbling. That's my thing. I hope the system's crumbling so we can start a new system or something else, because it's an old system.
Yeah.
It needs to be
Yeah.
shut down. It's old as shit.
It's
old as fuck. It is.
It's been. I mean, we saw it play out within a week.
Right. It's a game. It's silly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like we need to step out and realize like it's a game. Like what else can we do with this? We shouldn't be working as hard as we are working. Or some people are like, we're very blessed that we can work with our crafts that have been given to us. I'm saying, some way or another.
Right.
But most people are just kind of like in the plantation of like just picking out the souls. They're picking their souls. Giving it up. That kind of thing. I mean, if that makes you happy, that's what's up. But a lot of people are not happy. They're just like, damn, I wish. Some people don't know their truest potential because they're so focused on working with the system,
That
playing
rat
the game.
race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
playing the game or rat race or whatever you want to call it.
If they have a month to sit there and
Yeah.
shut down, you don't have to go to work.
Right.
You don't have to worry about your bills right now.
Yeah.
You might be able to get some unemployment. There's some funding coming. It's going to be okay. It's all going to work out.
Right.
Let's, what's something you've always wanted to do?
Right.
You want to pick up photography. You got that camera sitting in the
Right.
closet. Me, I have my mom's guitar.
Yeah.
I've been playing that guitar almost every day.
Right.
Just sitting out on the back patio or on the couch, just, 10, 15 minutes. And I just have time to kind of do things that I haven't been able to really lock in on for a long time. So that's been awesome.
Yeah.
So I hope people do take the time and kind of, figure out
It's time to look within.
if they're struggling at their job, if they got laid off with.
This is the time.
Find something that you're passionate about.
Exactly. This is the time. Utilize it. This is literally your time. All the excuses or whatever that people don't have time. Now you got it. What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
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 So I mean, it's up to you. But I mean, everybody has time now, which is nice. So I mean, pick up a book or learn something, a new craft or whatever.
Right.
And now you don't have to, like, sometimes I get. I beat myself up. I'm like, oh shit, I'm wasting my time to give myself a break because I got so much other shit I gotta do.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, calm down, just relax, play guitar for a little bit.
Yeah. And I
there's no,
don't play guitar, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't play guitar. I play around.
Yeah, we dabble.
Yeah.
We just play around.
Yeah, I strum around and hit a few chords but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, and my kids love it. They run around and dance and sprint around in a circle in the living room. And it's just, something to break up the time while we're home. And it's, I think, let's go back to the shop because you are obviously running a tattoo, a tattoo shop.
Right.
And do you remember kind of the day that you were told, I think it was barbers and tattoo shops were shut down officially?
Yeah, that sucked because one, I'm only a year old, as the shop was running, and the winter was bad, and where we are, because I didn't have my tattoo artist at the first part of it, you know what I'm saying? So
you recently got those guys in there.
Yeah. So everything the winter was really bad, like I was saying. So I didn't get one of my artists. One artist was there, but it was just in the part of town. It was just bad. It was just bad. But as soon as the weather started, kicking in, after December or whatever, we just started rolling it in. I got my new artists, the other artists, they're doing good. All the planning out all the events for the summertime, springtime, all these,
Right.
connections that we're about to do with
Yeah.
planning out like conventions.
Your
and,
art nights.
yeah, doing art nights.
Yeah.
I'm just going all, planting all these seeds,
Yeah.
like just spreading all these seeds around, and then all of a sudden, just like you hear that information, like, oh, they're gonna shut you down. But honestly, I mean, I don't care. It's already in the past. But
Yeah.
when they said that, I said, fuck it, I'm still tattooing. I'm still gonna fucking. I got my shop. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just low key do it or whatever, and then because I can be there, just not allowed to tattoo. So it was just like I need to make the money because you don't know how long this is gonna go for or whatever. Like all my artists need to make money. So
Yeah.
But then when they said that non-essential, I was like, well, fuck. Like, all right. And I didn't know how to take it. I was at that beginning stage. I'm like, all right, because everybody's on the toilet paper freak out, So, so in the same
Oh,
time,
man.
I had to take the toilet paper and try to find some because my family it didn't have any. Like
Yeah.
legitimately didn't have any. And there was like, I can't even go out because I really do need to get some for the family. Not like shitloads.
Yeah.
I just need like the usual buy,
Yeah.
So it was just a big old cluster of, of chaos, I guess, in a sense, or panic or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It was fucking weird. It was fucking weird. So now it's coming to the point like I'm going back and I'm using old tools that I use in my toolbox of creativity. Like I'm doing graphic design, of course, working with you, doing illustrations, whatever I can do as a side of what I used to do before tattooing.
Yeah.
I mean, this what I'm not. For me, it's easier for me because I know how to adapt easily to circumstances or changes that happen in my life. So I'm really, and I can entertain myself for days. So for me, it's easy. But some people I know it's really, really, really difficult. They're losing their fucking minds on it.
Right.
Which I think is just like how, and then I can understand because that's all they know, and they live in like this comfort.
Yeah.
Just this comfort, and then you just take it away from them because they never had that before. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just
They don't know where to go.
Right? It's like taking a spoiled ass kid's shit and then just all of a sudden, kick him out and there, like wake the fuck up. If you don't wake up, then you're not gonna wake up. So
Absolutely, man.
yeah.
Now, you used to do a lot of graphic design, and obviously you've been painting for a long time. You've got a lot of your art displayed there in the shop. The kind of the way your shop's laid out and just the sort of the storefront, it's just really, really rad spot. And and so it's a bummer that place is kind of just on standby right now.
Yeah.
Because just all the cool events you do, art night, and I don't know if you want to talk about some of those things.
Yeah, I can.
Because when everything comes back online, everybody check out some of these events that Carlos is that Ro is going to be having when everything opens back up.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I'm glad you brought up because my shop it's different. I really want to do it as a bringing people together of all backgrounds or whatever. It's a place for just it's like a bubble within the bubble. It's just to get out. Sometimes you step in there, it's very laid back.
Yeah.
There's no like we're not trying to
Great
be
vibe in there.
Yeah, we're not trying to impress or anything like that or make you feel like you're kind of intimidate. What I'm saying? That kind of thing.
You feature a lot of other artists.
Yeah, and have different
art
events,
on the walls and
different
love
events that I like that I think other people would like. Like the art nights gathering. Variety of artists gathering and stuff like that. And that's the whole reason I created it or had the idea.
You guys have like a lot of music down there and
like everything.
It's a chill
like,
spot.
We're doing I had a b-boy event that was going to come in April.
Yeah.
We're doing we're going to do a drum circle, things like that, bringing people in for that. Doing a other little we're having a block party with other, people on that block that are businesses, so I mean a lot of things, but it was all about the community in a sense,
Yeah.
in my eyes, community where it's just like everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is a place for everybody, like they can feel like
Everybody
themselves.
loves you over there.
Yeah.
Every time I'm over there, somebody's popping in the door, knocking on the
Yeah.
door.
Yeah, I mean, that's
You're like your shop's like a magnet for the people in the neighborhood.
yeah. So I mean, and that's the thing is like when I moved in there or whatever, because it's in the rough spot. It is,
Yeah.
you know, and it's gotten better, but at the same time, I have to understand that I'm in their neighborhood. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? This is their neighborhood. I
Yep.
can't just come in here and like get out and shoo them away
Sure,
because
sure.
I mean, honestly, like you know, those
People hang out on your
yeah,
step and
yeah, like I
yeah.
got to know I got to know the crackheads and the hookers. You know, just like
yeah.
and now they know who we are. You know what I'm saying? And they respect us in the sense. You know, and just let us know about a few things
Nobody's
here and
messing
there.
with you down there for
so
sure. I
everybody's
think
good, you know.
Yeah.
So everybody's been really cool, and I think it's just the only reason because we're cool with them,
Yeah.
you know, and we don't shoo them away. This is not gentrification, you know. This is I see it like I wanted inspiration for other small businesses to be attracted to do the same.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? To work and be with the community in the
Yeah.
neighborhoods that you're in, other than trying to like, this is not your vibe or this is not your crowd. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, so it's kind of a bummer that all that has, you know, been on on a halt. But I say I'm trying to think positive. I know it's gonna I know it's gonna come back open, and when it's ready to be back open, I got things I got things planned for sure because it's not my shop, it's everybody's shop that's in that shop, you know.
Right.
And so and yeah, that's the whole reason I built it, you know.
Yeah.
So
I have a feeling it's going to be full when all this when all this opens up. I think it,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
tattoo people, everybody's going to go and do whatever it is they miss,
mm-hmm.
and they're going to go do that right away. You know, the tattoo people are going to be flooding into shops, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
going to be great to see. I think it's just going to be kind of now festivals, shows, those kind of things, that's going to take a while, I think. You know, some of the big gatherings,
Mm-hmm.
Electric Forest Festival just recently completely canceled.
Oh yeah.
I think initially
Yeah.
they tried to reschedule. They just said,
They because I was gonna do the tattoo convention here, which is Hell City.
Yeah.
I do live painting there
Mhm.
every year or whatever, and it's fun. But anyway, they got shut down. Of course, it's gonna be this month, but they also went ahead and closed down. I think, if I'm right, the Phoenix one as well for this year. So they just canceled everything.
Really?
Like, and I think
Wow.
that was in August, I want to say.
Okay.
So it's really affecting all the creative events, any creative gatherings, you know.
Yep.
The
Yep.
events have been planned, and you know, like I was saying before, conventions and that I had planned. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna happen. You know,
Yeah.
if they started canceling already for August, I mean that's the time I was thinking of. You know, because everybody's kind of like, well, we'll see what happens and see if it goes away or something, or if everything kind of dies out. But it's not. It's just getting like, and I'm not trying to say scary, but it's just getting a little bit more intense.
Yeah.
You know, just a little sprinkles.
I think
you
events
know?
are going to get smaller. You know, like
It's-
the
it's
giant
wild.
90,000 people at a Bonnaroo, or
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
I mean, people are suffering. Businesses are suffering, like breweries and shit like that.
Oh,
They have to
yeah.
pay the rent and stuff
Yeah.
and whatnot, and they can't. And they're still making money, so they still have to pay rent.
Yep.
But not like they could because of all the festivals that have been canceled
Yeah,
and stuff
sure.
like that. So it's just
Yeah, all the kegs rolling out to.
Yeah.
I mean, even, you know, just like the Art Fest here,
Right.
Comfest, all the on just a small level, like the local level.
so
A lot of
yeah.
those organizations that are funding other
Right.
initiatives and
And that-
all that's, you know.
And I think a lot of the businesses are going to, how I see it, kind of get burned out. You know what I'm saying? Kind of get, you know, smudged out a little bit. And then once everything, if it does get to going again, where everybody can open doors again, I think there's going to be less businesses, you
Yeah.
know, because they couldn't survive.
Yeah, there's a lot of restaurants. I feel like
Exactly.
gonna really get
But,
hit.
I mean, it's Columbus for here. I mean, it's all about beer and food.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
So those are the and they have
We
a
have
library.
so many good mom and
foods.
pop restaurants. I'm worried about those.
Mm-hmm.
Those small mom and pop restaurants that are the best,
Mm-hmm.
and the chains are gonna make it. Cane's, Chipotle.
Those are the ones that should be canceled.
They're gonna. But I'm thinking
so
of like
messed
Los
up.
Gauchos down there, over off Go Down in Bethel.
I try to go over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
They
that's
closed
my
down.
spot.
Yeah, I try to go over there. I was over in that neck of the woods or
Yeah.
whatever, and I tried to go over there, and they were closed. I was like, "Fuck,"
Yeah,
because I want to spend
They
this,
are.
money. I don't mind picking it up,
yeah.
but at the same time,
And they have
can't.
3
Yeah.
spots too now.
Yeah,
They started as a little food truck years ago,
everybody's struggling with
and have just and
it. Yeah, it's scary.
and if you're expanding,
it's
like
crazy.
if you're a growing company, like
yeah,
anybody,
Yeah.
and that growth just it
Mhm.
everything halts, and now you have 2 or 3 restaurants or different things going on, and it's just
Right.
so much tougher to manage when you're trying to keep, I don't know,
Right.
15, 20 employees employed, but now you're
Right.
only available for carry out. How many
Right.
people can you have in there?
Right.
One person around the cash register, there's a cook in there, that's, and
It's
how do you keep
it's
the lights
hurting.
on?
Yeah, it's
And
hurting a lot.
there's no money to go out and eat out,
Right.
and
Right.
want to spend everyone's cooking at home.
Exactly.
Everyone's making meals at home, and
Exactly. Fast food joints are still open. They're still cranking.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Which I think
They
that's
got those. They got the
yeah,
protective shields and the
Right.
gloves, and
yeah. I think that's the thing that sucks. I guess. I mean, it's good for the people that have jobs. That's cool. But it's all the corporations that are still running. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Target and Walmart
Walmart
and fucking all
rocking and
all
rolling. Kroger's rocking and rolling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're fucking banging.
Amazon's rocking and
yeah,
rolling,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they're hiring,
Yeah. So I mean, all those are
and they're getting bailout
fast
money.
food. Yeah.
The big corporations are getting lots of like
And they
50 or
and
60 billion, I think, out of all
yeah.
that. I don't remember the numbers for like small and medium sized businesses, but it's definitely less than what the large corporations are getting. And yeah, I mean, a lot of the small business loans and some of these things that they're offering for people to, get on payroll. It's like, wow, you want me to go in more debt
Mhm.
to keep my business afloat? And then once you come out of it, those loans are,
Right.
they're low interest rate,
Right.
but
Right.
you're
Right.
kind of even more on
Yeah.
how do you get ahead once all this ends?
So what somebody mentioned to me is do the loans. I was like, I don't know. Like I understand like the situation and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It would help, but at the same time, no, I don't want to. After all the storm, I don't want to be like, well,
Yeah,
now you got all this that you got to pay off. Like,
Right,
fuck,
right.
I already got enough. I got to,
Right.
say, got to pay off. So I mean,
Exactly.
I think they should eliminate the school loans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, man.
they should
I
eliminate
have
a
a
lot
few
of
friends
things.
that would
yeah.
just totally change their life forever.
Right. I know.
School loans, the
Right.
only thing that you can't file for bankruptcy on.
Exactly.
You can lose your car, your
Yep,
house.
Yep. Mhm.
You can go completely bankrupt. You still
Mhm.
owe those school loans. So, yeah, I mean, that would help out a lot of people. You want to
Mhm.
help out a recession? Eliminate the school loans.
Exactly.
Eliminate that debt.
Because yeah.
People have that hanging over their heads for
It's
years
not cool,
and
man.
years.
It's not cool.
And it's a form of slavery, man.
It is.
You know,
it's not cool. It's invisible chains that people just do not need when education should be free.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That should be
Yep.
free. You shouldn't be paying for that like that. Not like that. And hurting you and then threaten you like you're not paying your child support, so we're gonna take all your money. You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be treated like that. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. The system that they're running and shit, it's silly. It needs to be. They need to shut it off because it's not cool.
You think
know.
it's run its course?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's gone silly. It's gone really silly. I think it's.
Yeah.
This is how I see it. It's a big giant Monopoly game. Everything's a big giant Monopoly game. but how everything's coming down and how the bankers like giving out more money so you can play the game. But I think this time that the
bailout packages.
Yeah. There's like, bro, keep playing with us, please. I want you to keep playing with me.
Yeah.
And the
the stock market went up a little bit. All right, we're back in business. It crashed again.
Right. Even though we know you have no money, but here's some money because I want you to keep playing the game. But the thing is, the longer they keep this going, people are gonna start waking up, and people are gonna realize like, I don't have to play this fucking game.
Yeah.
This is a game that you guys are just want me to play, and I don't want to play no more because I've been like this for, we'll say, like 4 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm realizing that I started doing I learned my own thing and doing my own thing and to survive, and now I'm like, I don't want to play this game. So the more people are like that, or start waking up, that's going to be a great thing right there,
Yeah. I think it'll be definitely a process too, Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's some change moving forward, and just the way the system was just not ready to handle something like this. And honestly, I mean, there are people that I think should be held accountable for some of the things that went down early on. And we can cover that or not cover it, but I think at this point it's pretty well known that it was pretty mishandled, and we just weren't ready for any of this. And
nobody was.
People are kind of settling into it now, I feel, but now it's spring, and it's been like 2 days of really nice weather, and then it's kind of gloomy and it's been raining, so we've been kind of indoors the last couple days. But man, when it's nice, I mean, there's people jogging,
everybody's out, like,
people walking their dogs. Like, I've never seen this person. They're just riding their bikes. Like, who are all these people?
Right.
And they're all out.
Right. They're all out.
Neighbors across the street. You're waving to your neighbors across the street. That's weird. Like, they're not coming across the street. And we just moved into our house in October, so we haven't been there that long. So we don't really know a whole lot of our neighbors, just the ones that are kind of in the area. And, the neighbor next door, I know, she just wants to run over and play with the girls and give them hugs and kind of hang out. And they just gotta stay back,
That's weird, right? That's a weird fucking thing to tell people. Like,
I mean,
like
they're
everybody's
right there.
contaminated.
Like, I have this, my yard's not much space for to the next house.
And this is what this is what you should be doing right now is knowing your neighbors.
Yeah,
you know
well,
what I'm saying?
and I've met
that's kinda,
even more. Because people have just been walking by our house. It's like, hey, how you doing? Oh, we live down the street. So it's been kind of cool because you're like, kind of getting eyes on all the people.
Exactly, because you secure your community. So if anything does get crazy, as long as you build a community that stands together, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Yeah. Like, help each other in a sense,
Yeah, so
that's cool.
Kind of just, getting to know everybody. But it's at a distance still, which is weird. Like, people aren't coming into our driveway. We're not going and hanging out in other people's driveways. That's, neighbors usually come together in one person's house. Maybe it's someone's front yard or the driveway, and we just kind of everybody stays in their spot and kind of yells at each other across the street.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it's definitely have making sure everybody's okay. Everybody, you need something, we're out at the store. One of the neighbors wanted to make a carrot cake. She didn't have powdered sugar. It's like, oh, I'm going to the store and I'm getting some things.
Cool.
Like, grab some powdered sugar for you.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's a lot of positives for sure, I think. Yeah,
that's what we got.
Lots of positive things have come out of this situation, at least for my personal experience. And I think just having a good attitude about it, and it's a good time to get your shit together. For sure, man. If you're stuck and you want to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. Right now's the time to do it.
No more distractions, man. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like,
Some people get stuck.
They do. Some
And
people,
I was one of those people.
Yeah.
You know, I used to run cell phone stores and
Right.
sling like minute phones and all different kinds of neighborhoods in Central Ohio.
Well, some people are not affected by this at all.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I already work out from home.
Yeah.
Or, oh, you know, that's my
My buddy
life,
Bryce,
or,
he works from home.
Yeah, my lifestyle.
Not much has
whatever,
changed for him.
It's not changed at all. It has not affected me. So that's
Yeah.
gonna hurt. I feel like in the future wise, that's gonna hurt because we're not really experiencing anything new other than this is just it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying, going out through. But yeah, I think it is to take this time to really change things up, man. You know.
I think you're going to see a lot more people working from home. Like, do we really need all these giant office buildings?
That's what
these
they're doing.
huge parking lots. You know how much food we could grow in one of these parking lots? I mean, you could bulldoze all that out of there and plant giant gardens all over the city.
Right.
You know, these huge office buildings, and, you know, it's like Micro Center. You just see people walking out of the store with whole home office setups, and everything's sold out with electronics. People are Zooming and video conferencing, and, you know, people are buying live streaming equipment. And so it's kind of, you're really seeing that merge into the digital space. And I think it's showing that, you know, a lot of people are productive at home. You know, does everybody need to be rushing into work, you know, 9 to 5 every day?
But it's important, though, at the same time, we take care of our mind, body, and spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because I think some people think it's, you know, they're on vacay in the sense and just kind of like eating Netflix and, you know, like just watching
Tiger
binging
King.
Or, just binging on whatever they can binge on and just say, fuck it, I'm good. I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit here and just
Some
wait it
people
through.
just need to, like, chill right now, too. You know, maybe it's good for them. They can just sit back and watch some Netflix and...
True.
And
as long as you don't overdo it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
All.
Yeah, be productive.
Yeah.
But some people, I think, just needed to, you know...
For the people that would never take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, you know, you have your kids at home and you're taking care of your kids and you're trying to work from home. That's been really difficult for people trying to, you know, do homeschooling in the morning, and then you've got Zoom calls you're still working.
It's harder. It's harder on kids because they don't have to work. They have to work a little harder now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now they have to, like, go in and they have to do the assignment signing versus, like, you know, they kind of throughout the day kind of leaning on some things. But now it's just like, this is what to do. This is what you have to turn in. This is where you have to go in, log in, you know, download and Dropbox and all this stuff. And you have to, you know, all this crap that you have to do more.
Right.
So it seems like because my mom's a teacher and she has to do more AEPs and, you know, just keep going, you know what I'm saying, with everything, because it seems like she's working a little bit harder than she was before, because now she's trying to, like, keep it going, keep whatever the school was asking for, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing, you know? So it's just kind of like, you know, it's a little...
She's still sending assignments to her students and keeping a curriculum rolling, and so, wow, I bet.
Yeah. So it's hard on teachers, hard on kids, you know, because some kids are just, that's not, everybody's programmed differently, you know what I'm saying? Especially my kid is super hyper, you know. So for him to have him sit, like, just, you know, to go through all these assignments, it's hard on them. Yeah. You know, because you're not, like, you recess and breaks and doing other activities, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Got art one day, you got phys ed one day.
Library. You know, there's no library, you know.
I know.
That's crazy. Oh. So, I mean, you can't go to the playground. So, I mean, so it's all those, so it's kind of hard on some folks, you know. But it's all good. It's all good.
So, when did we meet? Like 2013?
It was a while ago.
Yeah, 2013 or 14.
That's the thing.
I think it was either because I met you through Eric Rollins. Shout out Eric.
Yeah. Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson. He introduced us. They had a show, I think, at Carabar when that was still. Carabar was still.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's
Carabar.
right.
I think it closed
Yeah.
like a year after
Like
that.
right over. Yeah.
Yeah, you did live
yeah.
painting,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
me and my wife came down,
That's right.
and Eric introduced us, and
Said, hey, that was.
yeah, and then there was like a Reynoldsburg Art Day or something. I
Yeah,
came out and shot
yeah.
some video.
That was a
You were-
while ago. Wow.
And
yeah.
Mr. Anderson played for the kids.
Mhm.
That was fun.
Yeah.
There was like a
Oh,
storyteller. You guys were doing break dancing. That was a really cool
it was a great
thing
little
that they do.
Yeah.
They
it
do
was a
that
great
every
thing.
year.
I don't know. I don't think they do.
Okay.
I don't think they do. I think that was just like
That was really, really cool.
That was a special moment because my kids were going. It was wild how everything was connected because the school that Eric went with, we're good. We're, both of us are good friends with him, but the school that he did that at was at my kids' school. So
Oh.
they were in
I remember
they're
they
in
were
middle
there.
school. So so they got to come down and help him and help us, put
Right.
it all together. So they
Yeah,
had
he was
that
doing a hip hop
experience.
workshop,
Yeah, all this crazy
songwriting
stuff,
workshop.
So I mean, that's where I met you.
Who was your
you
boy
know.
doing? Who was the guy doing breakdancing? Teaching breakdancing.
I wasn't teaching break dance. I think it was just like they just started dancing. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
I can't.
I remember
I can't
shooting
remember.
something.
I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe it was Jamie. I think it may be Jamie.
It was Jamie.
Was it?
Jamie. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
his last name?
Jamie. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember one of the two. But he owns Flavored Flow Studios, south end of where my shop is on Parsons.
Oh, sweet.
And he's been doing good. I mean, like we were going back a little bit, how everybody needs to adapt and change and do new ways and
Yeah.
creative ways
Yeah.
of what they do. So he's been doing his, teaching his kids, because of course they can't go to the studio no more.
Yep.
So they've been doing the whole Zoom and doing break dance classes
Yeah.
through Zoom,
Yeah. Yeah.
with all the kids. So, I mean, everybody's,
Awesome.
yeah, he's adapting perfectly
great.
with it, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, of course, it'd be better to get like hands-on,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, he's still changing with it and making it work for him,
Yeah.
like how we all
Shifting
should.
gears,
Yeah.
man.
Exactly. So he was there.
Good.
So all of us pretty much were all there. It was wild.
Yeah.
It was wild that we were all there.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing that show.
Eric
at the
invited
school.
me. He said, "Come on out and shoot this
Right.
Reynoldsburg Art Day." I was like,
Right.
"Sweet." Met a lot of cool people. Met
Mhm.
a lot of you guys,
Mm-hmm.
and so I remember that. That was a good shoot for me. I mean, that was I think while I was in school still, or yeah, it definitely was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of going through all, the shift from trying to, go to school learning video production, photography,
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah,
the
I
whole
think I was back.
the whole gamut. So, yeah, we've known each other for a while.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. That was the changing, I think, for myself, because I was in a different space at that time too. So I remember
You were doing a lot of graphic design
Yeah.
and
just art
painting.
stuff.
Yeah.
Just-
You used to have a little office on Gay or
Yeah.
Town, or
It was on Gay Street.
it was on Gay.
Street, a little small
Yeah.
little over
like
there
on
by
the
the
third
vault.
floor. I had a
Mhm.
pretty sweet lookout of
Mhm. Yeah, so-
view of Gay Street.
It was weird. I rented that place, and as soon as I got that place, I had to not let it go, but not be there all the time, for the fact that I started doing apprentice for tattooing, so it just kind of got put on the side burner kind
Yep.
of thing, put to
Yeah.
the shelf. So that was all. Everything came out kind of crazy at
Right.
that time, So I mean, I found out you were crazy like myself in a sense, I remember at the school and stuff like that, coming
Yeah.
up to you, talking to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the things have changed us, what I'm saying, to put us where we are right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, I
So it's
remember.
weird.
I think you had approached me. You were doing live painting. You're like, "Hey,
Mhm.
what's up? Eric told me about you." I remember meeting, and we sat there and talked before their performance for like 35,
Yeah.
40 minutes. Kind of hit it off, kind of just like a one-on-one, and we started talking about like Serpent Mound and
Yeah.
some of those things, and gave me some of your backstory, and we're both adopted.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that kind of being a thing where it was like, oh, okay, right on. It's like,
you kind of know how it feels.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely different situations.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up in Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Dayton,
Mm-hmm.
and then given up for adoption in '82, and then and it was through the Catholic diocese. As I forget the name of the organization, but it was all through basically the Catholic Church, and my parents adopted my sister, and then me 4 years later. So I was born in Ohio, and it recently found my adopted family like
you've had
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. That took about 6 or 7 years to kind of get to the point after I initially got interested and really wanting to kind of track them down.
Yeah.
It was a long process.
Yeah, I remember you were going through all that, man. I remember you meeting them and stuff like that,
Yeah. But you were brought over here with your brother, correct or no? Did your mom adopt you and your brother?
Yeah, I do have another brother or whatever, but so I was adopted from Colombia by myself. So before I was adopted, my mom also adopted another son before me.
Okay.
So I came when I was 6, and he was adopted first, and he came when he was 9. Cool. And he was from El Salvador.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So he was El Salvador. So they thought it would be, best to get a boy or whatever. Not a boy, but another kid,
Yeah.
So, and I came here on kind of on somewhat an accident, in a sense, where they sent they were requesting something, and they sent my picture, and my mom was like, okay, we'll go, cool, So that was kind of
what?
Crazy. Yeah. So the picture,
really?
Yeah. So the picture that they sent was, they didn't have the kid that they were going for. I think it was a girl or something like that. I can't remember what was told me, so I might butcher it all up. But anyway, they just didn't get the kid. I think the kid got adopted or something like that, or already got, didn't happen. So, but they said but we do have this kid, what I'm saying, this other kid, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, cool.
That was you.
Yeah. So I was like, there you go.
Wow.
So yeah. So
man,
I'm very blessed.
Do you ever think about ending up somewhere else or still being in that? Because I think about that. I mean, I was lucky, really lucky. I was adopted when I was 6 weeks old.
Yeah.
So my parents, my mom and dad, my mom passed away, but they were my parents. They were mom and dad. Right. Like when I was a kid, I never thought about them as anything except my mom and dad.
Right.
People would talk to me about being adopted. It was weird that they cared.
Right.
I never thought about it.
Yeah.
Because they told me when I was so young that I don't remember them sitting me down and saying, hey, you're adopted.
Right.
So I've known for...
your mom forever and your dad forever.
I've just never have known anything else.
Yeah,
so
I
never really thought about it growing up until someone would like...
put it in your attention.
They would make it weird.
Right.
They like want to feel bad for you. I'm like, why do you feel bad for me?
Right.
It's like, like you get a lot of, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
Like I grew up in very small community. My childhood was amazing. I mean, I had a wonderful childhood. And, I have an older sister. Mm-hmm. She's 4 years older than me. She was adopted. We're not biologically related. I helped. Right. Yeah. I helped her find her mother.
Yeah.
As well. A few weeks after I kind of learned how the secrets of ancestry, kind of cracked that code, and it took me about 5 or 6 days once I actually got on there, because my wife got me a subscription.
Yeah.
And I ended up doing the DNA.
It's crazy you found yours and hers.
Kind of wish I wouldn't have done the DNA test now, but
they got you.
Yeah, but it's been cool because I've learned my cultural background a little bit more. I mean, I don't really have any like super attachment and things I've kind of just always felt, and then or confirmed through the DNA test, which was kind of cool.
Well, I get that question a lot. Like, you gonna go back to Colombia and go, blah,
Find
blah,
your
blah.
roots.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, right, right. And fortunate, it's like I'm very blessed. I'm very grateful for everything. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But like I'm more connected. I found a lot of stuff about myself, and I'm very connected with my ancestors going this route.
Mm-hmm.
And the orphanage was called I think it's called Los Pisingos, and well, with Los Pisingos you have two ways. Like, one, I could just stayed in the slums. Who knows what the outcome of that would have been, you know what I'm saying? And the other one was going to be Americans are going to adopt you, or the Swedish were going to adopt you. So I mean, I could have been, a Swedish me,
Right.
So I mean, it's crazy.
You could
how
be living in Sweden.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
So it's just like, right. So it's a weird, like, and it's, yeah.
You think you felt out of place here?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sweden.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That's a.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a.
just that'll be funky. That'll be funky. Who knows what that version of me in a different
What
in
kind
a
of
different,
parallel row
exactly
being is that?
in a different reality there is, or dimension, there is a Swedish me. Like,
Wow.
That's crazy. I can imagine what that would be.
Man.
That'd be crazy. I don't know. Maybe I would be doing tattoos in Sweden. I don't know. Because I mean, your soul is your soul.
I'm sure you'd still be an artist for sure.
Yeah, some.
Maybe
right?
you'd be doing a
right?
completely different kind of art.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. Because I mean, a lot of the things that have inspired me are from because of this land and ancestry and stuff like that. Like Native and Mayan and all this stuff that
the mound builders and the Mayans.
Yeah, they're all right here.
Yeah.
Versus like
they found Aztec artifacts and obsidian and in North America. So those trading routes were definitely happening with the Aztecs.
Right. So it found me, even though I was brought over here in Ohio. It found a way to reach me. And on the other hand, if it was in Sweden, who knows? I might not have been reached to my tapped in. Because I'm more further away from it. Because they're like you were saying, like the Mayas and all the Sturpen Mound and a lot of those cultures or whatever, indigenous people were all tied into it. So that's the thing. It's just like, so I still had that little breadcrumb from when it comes to spirituality to figure out my way back. That kind of thing, to connect me back. So I think that's one of the reasons.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. Yeah.
Ohio's a hotbed for mounds and earthworks, and they're all over the place here. The Ohio River valleys. At one point there were 10,000 different sites here. There's only about 1,000 that you can actually physically see now.
Mm-hmm.
So was definitely a site of some not fully understood, lost civilization, essentially. So it's kind of cool to see, similar astronomy and the way that they align their buildings in the Yucatan and Mexico, South America.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a lot of the same mathematics and geometry and the astronomy that are kind of encoded into the sites here in Ohio.
And that itself will connect you with a lot of, it has so many, a web connection to the pyramids on the other, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it has so many connections, you know what I'm saying? That thing too. So I mean,
it's kind of a movement to call them Earth pyramids.
Yeah, and I hope they
kind of heard that.
Yeah.
Because earthworks,
it doesn't sound grand.
Yeah.
It kind of gives it kind of like they're there. You know what I'm saying? Versus like they should be like respected.
It's just a very simple form of a pyramid. They're not building with giant, extremely impressive, 50-ton, 100-ton megalithic stones that are built into these grand temples, but simple.
But they were temples.
And honestly, when you get down into the mounds, some of the layers, certain kind of clay, this kind of sandy, blonde sandy material, and then sometimes, inside the mounds they would find some more megalithic structures. Those are in Indiana, where they kind of found these tombs there's fairly large size stone inside of them. So some of them are a little bit more technologically advanced. Some of them are more basic. I think the more basic ones might be a little more current.
Yeah, people sleep on it. That's for sure. People don't understand how big of a staple it is in the whole connection with everything.
Yeah.
You know, the mounds, you know, and the civilization, and a lot of people want to go to the big, you know, wonders of the world. It's like it's right underneath your nose.
I mean, I went to Chichen Itza.
Yeah,
I went to Chaco Canyon.
Yeah.
I've been to a bunch of really cool, amazing places before I ever got into earthworks and mounds. I mean, I knew about Serpent Mound, and I think I visited Serpent Mound in maybe like 2011, but even at that point, I really didn't understand a lot about it. I mean, a lot of people think of mounds. I just thought they were burial mounds.
Right.
I wasn't aware that there were other sites like Serpent Mound, not necessarily effigies, but the geometric, like the Newark earthwork and Sipe and some of those down in Chillicothe that are amazing. I mean, they're like half moon henges and squares that are perfectly square.
Yeah.
You know, the Great Octagon in Newark, which is a 18.6 year lunar calendar, I think. And they're tracking all the moon phases, predicting eclipses, and whoa.
It's all here.
That's really advanced stuff.
Exactly.
And I think right now we're just kind of, the word's getting out a little bit, starting to be taken a little bit more serious. Like Serpent Mound, I think Newark's up for UN, the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I kind of like the local vibe of Serpent Mound.
True.
You know,
that's
like the guys that run it, Tim and all them. What's up, Tim? Everybody out there at the Serpent Mound.
Like, do we want to put that kind of light on it? You know, where it kind of gets.
Because you can go there and there's no one there. During the events, tons of people go to those events. You know, the Friends of the Serpent Mound, and then Terry and Tom and all them put on awesome events. But for the most part, I mean, you go down there on a Thursday or even a Saturday.
It's nice to know it's low key.
There's like 5, 6, 7 people.
You don't have like
cars in the parking lot.
Shops selling, you know, merch and all that stuff. And
yeah.
You know,
oh man, like Chichen Itza.
Milking it.
I went in 2012.
Yeah.
And for my birthday, August 7th, 2012. And I was astonished how many vendors there were out there. I mean, a lot of them were native selling art, which is cool. You know, I bought a piece and bought some things out there. But the indigenous, they're out there. You know, it's like, well, where'd the Mayans go? They never left. They're still there. I mean, they're making Mayan tacos and selling their artwork. And like, they didn't just, you know, go off planet and disappear. They're still there.
That whole thing, aliens, this and that. Nah, we did it. You know what I'm saying? All the indigenous
super advanced civilization that existed, you know, pre-flood. Who really knows? Yeah, but I think people were absolutely capable of building these pyramids. You know, there's a lot of stories of ETs and ancient cultures and being visited, the Vimanas and the Ayurvedic culture.
Were they visited? Yeah. Were they influenced? Yeah. But they weren't like, oh, we couldn't do it without them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All they did was kind of inspire in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Kind of feed it. Yeah. You know, feed the civilization to do something that is going to resurrect something to honor that. Because in a way, there are gods, because we don't know anything that we don't know is usually turned into God, you know. Yeah. So but not full credit. You know what I'm saying? So the Mayas, they're still there, you know what I'm saying? You know, Native American people, they're still Native American people. Yeah. They're not extinct. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like this, you know. So it's all right there.
Yeah, I've been pretty connected with the Yucatan and you know, the Incan cultures and Peru, and just kind of obsessed with Egypt my whole life, and
all that stuff is so
it's
So I love that stuff. I love all that folklore. I love all that. It's just so much culture and so much inspiration. There's just so much. It's
Lost
I
knowledge
love it.
too.
Yeah,
You
and I
know,
love it because it's so
just
different. You know, that's it's amazing. All those indigenous cultures are amazing. You're from Cambodia. You know what I'm saying?
Angkor
All
Wat.
yeah, all of
Yeah.
those are just like there's not one civilization that's better than the other or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're all in their art. You know
Yeah.
that is their culture. You know it's
Mm-hmm.
all, and it's funny how some of those art things or patterns because as an artist or whatever, I love art, but a lot of this stuff was how in a way they were told that we were all separated, but a lot of them had the same forms. Like we talked, simple as the pyramids, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But a lot of the symbols for sun, symbols for so and so, you know, some of the gods, they all had the same relation, or they just had different names, you know, that kind
Right.
of thing. But they were all connected, you
Right.
know.
The ancient stories are really similar
Yeah,
all over the globe.
exactly.
So it's like, were we ever really that
Right.
separated?
Or do they want
Because
to tell
some
you
of these
that?
stories are
Yeah.
really, really similar. I mean, Krishna
Right.
and Jesus,
Right.
and I mean,
Rob.
uh,
Yeah.
it's pretty unbelievable. I mean, the similarities with Osiris, and the Native American lores of like the eagle and the condor, and
Mm-hmm.
the thunderbird and the serpent, and
Mhm.
there's the dragon myths
Right.
from in China, and a lot of those. It's like almost like this base of one culture that so many things came from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think. The more and more we go down the line, more and more things, the proof, we're going to
Yeah.
start seeing more proof of, artifacts and things that are kind of tying the story that really is, it's real blurry right now. We just don't
Because
know
we
our
have
ancient past.
we have amnesia. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We all have amnesia, and the
Yeah.
artifacts and the things that are left for us
Yeah.
are for us to reactivate and awaken. And that's why I love it, because it's just they're all there. All those things and structures are for us to see now. You know, for
Right.
us to remember.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing is with the ancestors. Like the biggest thing, all they want to do is be remembered. You know what I'm saying? That's all they ask for. And so that's all the things that they kept here is for us to remember and to remember
Right.
where
And
we
try
all
to
came.
figure out what they were
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying when the system, going back to the very beginning of our conversation, talking about the system needs to be crashed. You know what I'm saying? I pray on that because, I mean, we need to go back, you know what I'm saying, to what it would never be back how it used to be, but back in that kind of mindset, like where, you know,
I
where we were
mean, the art and the science,
Yeah.
all that was merged.
Yeah.
You had extremely high art. I mean,
Yeah.
those obelisks in Egypt are just crazy, crazy elaborate.
Yeah.
And the carving, the way it looks like it's,
We don't give them credit.
yeah, I mean, it looks like it's machined.
Right.
It's very, hard angles, and
We don't give them credit.
it seems like they had some things figured out that a few things that really we can't do today. There's a lot of those pyramids and ancient temples, we just don't really know how they were built.
Right. Right.
It's a lot of it's a mystery still. And I think as we go, technology keeps advancing, more and more information. I mean, Göbekli Tepe, that's a big one. I mean, when I found out about Göbekli Tepe, it wasn't even considered a legitimate site. The dating wasn't considered legitimate, but now, the age of it is, 11,500, 10,500 BC, which kind of totally blows away the timeline that we've been teaching in universities for a long time. Like there wasn't a culture before the flood, this great cataclysm, but we kind of have Göbekli Tepe to, there it is. They all agree that it's that old.
Yeah.
So there's going to be others.
Exactly.
Like Göbekli Tepe.
That's why I love science. Don't get me wrong, I love science, but that's what I don't like about science. You know what I'm saying? For the fact of all that, they always like, oh, this is the answer.
Science is great. It's the apparatus around it.
Yeah, they always have to go back.
Gets,
They're never. Yeah.
It's like an echo chamber, though. Some things.
Because place is older than what it is. And I think science that they have science is not even, they think they know, but they don't know.
Right.
Because
And
they
by the
always
way,
forget.
I don't actually can prove anything or don't actually know. Nobody really knows for
Right.
certain of any of these things. I just have, some just through the years, watching, reading, consuming information
Right.
as much as,
Just
it's a
educating
passion of
yourself.
mine. And I have feelings, but, I'm not out there digging up artifacts.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
You have feelings, though. You know what I'm saying? You feel it.
Yeah.
You feel that this world is
Just
older
doesn't
than it
seem
is.
right.
Even when they
The
say
timeline,
right,
it just
exactly. They
doesn't
tell you
add
a
up.
timeline, and you're like feeling it.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel that. I mean, I know you're saying that, and you have this proof, quote quote. But I feel that it's older than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
What you're trying to, program me with. So it's just like nah, and that should be
Dude, I couldn't agree more. This is awesome.
yeah.
You having a good time?
Yeah, I'm having a
This
great
is awesome,
time, man.
dude. Well, I think we could wrap this up,
Yeah.
brother.
Cool.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, appreciate you having me out here.
Absolutely.
Man. This is fun.
Row on the Strange Road, everybody.
Mhm. Much love, much love. Until the next episode, I
Peace.
guess.
You can follow Fifth Element Tattoo on Facebook and Instagram, and find Roa himself on Instagram at Roa_tattoos.